Motherhood does not have to feel so heavy. And I'm gonna give you a couple of things to help you control your vibe too, because you can't control the chaos, but you can control your peace. So, hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about motherhood, we talk about pregnancy, we do things kind of eco-friendly, natural, hippie, granola, but we keep it positive. Mindset in motherhood is literally everything. So I created a thought prompt flip book. This was just to help me get off my phone because I felt like I was always scrolling when I was nursing or trying to go to bed, and it just wasn't what I wanted to be doing. So I was like, I need thought prompts to think about things. What one of my partner's qualities am I most grateful for? What is one habit I want to start and how can I accomplish it? Just like positive things to think about instead of scrolling. The other thing that I made is my mindset guide, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about here, because when I became a mom in 2020, which was an insane time to become a mother because it was COVID and it was just nuts, and it's just, I hadn't really thought about what being a mom would be like, but I didn't think it would be like that. I thought I would have the village, but because everybody had COVID, there was no village, and there were just so many things. So I had an extremely hard time becoming a mom. I went from traveling full time. That's how I started this channel. I would just like go live places. The channel was called Living on a One Way because I would just buy a one-way ticket, live there for a while, and then buy a one-way ticket somewhere else and live there for a while. And my friends were like, you should start a blog. And I was like, I don't like writing. Fun fact, can't do it. But talking, sure, I can talk. And so I started just making videos being like, hey, I'm in Puerto Rico this week, or hey, I'm in wherever I was, and just like telling stories about where I was. And then that's how I grew my following. And then I got pregnant and COVID, and I was like, well, I'm never going to travel again. So now I'm a mom. I was never asked to be bridesmaid in my friends' weddings because they didn't know if I'd be home or not. And I was like, great, I'll show up if I'm home. And it was just nice to not have that, like, nobody relied on me for anything. And I liked that. And I wasn't responsible for anybody's feelings or plans or anything like that. And I liked that too. This is probably something that I'll go through in therapy, or that I've been going through in therapy. I just liked to be able to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do. Well, if you're watching this and you're a mom, you're laughing at me because you know that once I became a mom, that was no longer a thing. And my husband worked shift work. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have this baby, you're gonna get this job where you work shift work and you're gonna work overnights, and it's gonna be really, I'm gonna just be on my own with this baby. I went from like total freedom to like lockdown, and that's how it felt. Obviously motherhood, now that we're in it, you know the insane joy that it brings, and also the frustrations and the challenges that it can bring, very real as well. And so I was just like, I don't have a life anymore because I chose to co-sleep. I chose to exclusively breastfeed. I chose to do all these things that felt very intuitive to me that was not supported in like the culture that we were in, the society that we were in. And so like I would go down to a friend's house in Arizona and I would have to go to bed with my baby, or like go out with them. And then I still remember this. I was out at the table and then the baby cried. So I was gonna go back to her, which I do every night, no big deal. And my friend was like, aren't babies supposed to sleep through the night by now? And they didn't have any kids. And I was just like, I just want to hang out with my friends. And I just remember just crying to Seth about the little freedom that I had, how he got to go back to work and like go talk to adults. And just like, I'm such a social creature. In my third trimester, I got a job at Lululemon just to like talk to people. I felt like it'd be like-minded people, like active people that like yoga, growth-minded. And it was great. And I did it literally the 3 months until I went into labor. When they first hire you, it's just for a season. And I was like, this could not be better. So I worked there, and I would work an 8-hour shift, and Seth would call me and be like, how you feeling? I'm like, phenomenal. So like the fact that he got to leave and go have adult interactions, I was immensely jealous of. And I felt like I wasn't accomplishing anything. The house would still be a mess. The baby was fed and slept, and I had anxiety around sleep. I just felt like I wasn't accomplishing anything. There was no like benchmarks. It's not like I had a salary and could get bonuses, or that I would do better, like up my ranks in motherhood. Like it just felt like it droned a little bit. So I struggled real hard. My lovely husband has been so gracious, and I can see why people's relationships don't make it through, because the first couple of years of a kid, the clock restarts every time you have a new baby. It just gets hard again. He always like talked me through things, and I went into therapy because necessary. So anyway, that was my journey with becoming a mom. And then by the time my second came 2 years later, I felt like I had nestled into motherhood. And the biggest shift that I made was like accepting my circumstances and then deciding what I was going to do about it. I was like, okay, I am home all day long. I can either sit here and be like, we have 12 hours until you go back to sleep. What are we going to do today? Like, this is, I have a full day of nothing. planned. Basically, my scope went from outside of my house and turned inside of my house. And I just like thought about, I talked about this in another video, but I thought about the relationship with my baby and what I want. What do I want my days to look like? If I could have a dream day, what does it look like? And I was like, okay, well, I would get up at this time. At the time I was doing like nap schedules. Now I don't do nap schedules so closely, but like I have all day to do whatever I want. Instead of thinking about this as a droning day, like I have the freedom to do anything. What do I want to do? And then you add in like, oh, well, we can't spend a lot of money. So there's a constraint. I'm solo. My husband's at work. So you acknowledge all of these circumstances because everybody has their own circumstances. Everybody has different things. And then you accept them and you say, okay, great. I can't spend a lot of money and I'm solo parenting with 3 kids now for me. What do I do? What is going to make me happy? What is in my capacity? And if you're like me and you're an extrovert and you want to go out, go out. If you're like, that sounds literally terrible, then make your backyard an oasis for your children so that you can just shove them outside. If you go on Facebook and you do buy nothing, you can make a mud kitchen with like wood and people's old kitchen utensils. Like you can do this. What I'm saying is just acknowledge what your circumstances are, accept that they are, and then say, cool, with what I'm working with, how can I make this awesome? The other thing that I started doing was journaling. And anytime I would hit a roadblock where I was like, okay, Seth and I keep having this exact same argument every time. And mostly it started, I remember this vividly, anytime he wanted to go to the gym. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I have been solo parenting this whole time. Now it's your day off and you want to go to the gym for an hour, and it's really going to be 2 hours because of the time it takes you to get there and change and get up to the thing and then get your workout and then come back. So anytime he'd be like, hey, could I'd be like, sure. And then he'd be like, okay, it's fine. I don't have to. And I'm like, no. I want you to. I want you because I know that you need that time. I wish that I knew what I needed for time, but this isn't about me. It's about you. So I started journaling. How do I want to react when my husband asks me these things? And so I would write that. And then I would have a bad moment with my kid where they were just whining and I'd be like, what do you want? And then I would feel terrible. And then I actually scarred them for life for yelling at them like that. And so then I journaled about that. And I just started like journaling allowed me to like slow my mind down and just like chill and think about how I would rather. And then if I journaled about it, then I felt like I was practicing it and then I could do it, right? Then I just felt like mindset was everything because the circumstances around you are going to be the same. It's how you respond to them that's going to change it. So when nothing else is in control, when you can't control the chaos, you can control your peace. Right? So there's insanity going on around you. And if you raise that to that level, you're going to just continue to raise the energy, raise the insanity, raise the feeling inside of you. Or you can say, it's crazy in here right now. I'm going to keep my calm because that's what I've decided I wanted to do. I'm going to validate people's feelings because I know that that helps people from the journaling and the reflecting that I've done, that this is what is effective. We're going to move through this. And I know that I'm going to get through it. And then once you do that, you're like, oh my gosh, that felt really good. And you do it again, and then you keep doing it, and then now you're becoming the person that you want to be. And people always say, fake it till you make it. I think practice it till you become it. I think that you need to practice these things even when they feel foreign so that your body and your mind and your energy can like accept it and be like, okay, this is who I am now. It's wild. Because I'd done all of this freaking work all the time, I decided to make a guide to help Shayla in 2020. And in turn, help anyone who's a new mom who's just like, when will my life be back to normal? And there's choices that you can make to make it more like that. But I was like super intuitive. It didn't feel right to not co-sleep and things like that, which made my life harder, right? Because I created this baby that felt so secure and attached to me, even sometimes more than my husband. So like I was primary and still am for a lot of my kids. I have 3 kids. Or if you're just like a mom who has toddlers and you're just like, this is not what I was expecting. I'm like angry at my husband a lot. My kids annoy me every single day. I need a glass of wine, or like I just am scrolling to avoid them or whatever it is. This guide, I really hope can be what you need and can help you so much. And I'm genuinely like, I want it to be something that anybody can just benefit from. And then it's been out for a while. People have got it. I've got feedback on it. I asked for feedback. I sent out a questionnaire. And one of the things that I got, which I knew, was that it needs to be an audio version because ain't nobody got time to read through this packet unless you're a reader. It can go on your Kindle super easily, so that's one way that you can get through it. But I also made it an audio. It's like an hour and a half maybe, so it's like a podcast episode where I literally read you the thing. And this is not high production. The audio is good, but I'm just saying, me reading, like it makes me sweat. I think about when I was in first grade and we had to do popcorn, and we had popcorn Shayla, and I was like, what is one habit I want to start? How can I accomplish it? It's not that bad. I definitely read it and then I just go off on tangents to elaborate. So that's something that you can listen to as well. So I just wanted to kind of like talk about it more, because I feel like it's kind of something that I mention in all my videos, like, oh, go check out my guide. But like, I truly made it because everyone deserves to enjoy motherhood. And when you're like journaling, I tell you, I give you journal prompts. I tell you how to journal, because you don't want to just write like, I want to be a better mom, or I don't like fighting with my husband. Like, those are two things that you do not want to write. This guide will tell you everything that how you want to write, how you want to make things that might come up that you should go journal. Like, hey, if this happens, go freaking journal. If this happens, go journal. If this happens, it's a trigger, go journal or meditate or whatever it is. But mindset has just helped me through so much. It's something that you're always working on, because even now I'll get like angry, or I'll get riled up, and I'm like, how can I teach about mindset if I'm losing it? And my husband's like, what? You have to lose it to like feel the struggle to learn more. You don't have to lose it, but you have to feel the struggle to learn more. And you have to say, okay, this is not what I wanted to do. How do I do this better? Because if you're just like, I am perfectly happy and I have created this lovely life all on mindset, like, that's great, but a lot of people can't relate to that. And in my experience, it's just not the reality. So I would love to hear your guys' feedback. If you've bought the guide, please leave your review in the comments. If you have any questions about it, put the questions in the comments. I read all of the comments. Just wanted to share that a little more. And if there's any videos that you would like me to make about mindset, you're like, I just cannot with my kid and their tantrums, like, amen, sister. Like, there's nothing that you can say that I will judge you for. Literally, I want to know what you're struggling with as far as mindset goes, so that I can create videos to help you get through it, and just so that you can just love it, love your life. Still struggle sometimes, but like, be better equipped. Remember, you can't control the chaos, but you can control your peace. So I love that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.